Dave Termini, and I'm going to show a little trick on how to cut an area out of a piece of tile. Most of the time you can do everything with straight cuts, especially when working with a bevel. You've got to use a tile saw. So I'm going to show how to mark it, and I'm going to show how I cut it. This is how I do it. I use two different devices. I use a towel saw and I use a scribe cutter. And so that's what I'm going to show. I use a wax pencil because wax is very good. It does not rub off with your hand if you touch it lightly. I sharpen it with a razor blade. Okay, use a razor blade to sharpen it. And so just watch what I do, and I'll be doing a lot of other videos of this tile job, and I decided to do a quick one that shows everything in like real fast speed, and then I'm going to do smaller versions of different processes. That way, if there's something you want to jump to, you can just go see that particular step rather than watch an hour-and-a-half video. So, see you soon. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and make our marks where we got to cut. Just say we're going to cut there, come down 1.5 inches. All right, so we'll go ahead and make a mark. My square, my trusty square. Again, I like to use wax. It doesn't wash off when you're using a tile saw, because the tile saw it gets wet. Everything gets wet with a tile saw, so wax is good. So let me get my mark. All right, there's my steps for the cut. So I will use the square to go ahead and mark that. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut multiple cuts this way with the tile saw, which you will see. This way, I'm going to cut it with my scribe. So stay tuned. I'm going to go ahead and get that scriber, and we'll show how we do that. Okay, we're back. Okay, this is my ceramic tile cutter. These are not very expensive. If you're just doing a small job or one job, you can get away with these kind of tools. Same goes for my tile saw, which I bought at Lowe's for 69 bucks. Pretty good, and it's a good saw for that price, and it did the job. And if you're a professional, plan on going pro or have a huge job, you might want to upgrade to the next step quality up. But for me, this works fine. Okay, so what this does, it's got a cutter here. There's a carbide cutter on there, and it's going to slide and it's going to scratch the surface wherever I roll this across. So what I'm going to do with this, I'm going to roll it on this line. I'm going to roll it across that line. Then I'm going to make cuts with my saw this way, and then I'll be able to chip them off real easy. Okay, we're going to go ahead and line up the carbide cutter right on that line. I don't know if you can see it. Let me check. All right, you can see it. I'm going to zoom it in. You'll watch as I scratch that. I'm going to try and scratch that line. Okay. You can almost hear it. Well, you can hear it. You can hear it scratching. Got like a scratchy sound. What we've done, we've scratched this going across this way. Okay, that's the first step. Got to have that line going that way. Now bear with me and we'll meet you at the tile saw. Okay, folks, we are here at the tile saw, okay? I'm just going to tell you real quick what this is. Here's a fence. This is a fence. It comes with a fence. It attaches here. You can run your saw. This is a blade. You can run your saw to whatever measurement you need. You just set it up. What I do is I measure the distance from the blade to the fence and make my cut. You can make a mark on your tile and then you can set it up here exactly to what you need to cut. Now what I do when I do this step we're going to do to make these cuts, I can do them freehand. I do not need this fence. Now in this saw there is a section that comes out and there's a reservoir here that you put water in. Because this is a diamond tipped blade. It actually has a lot of little fine diamonds on it, and it's made to cut through ceramic tile. But what makes it nice, it goes through the water as it cuts, and it keeps the blade cool and protects the blade from wearing out from heat. So you do have to keep this blade cool. You can use it without water, but when you use it with water, not only does it keep the blade cool, but it also keeps the dust down, which is really something you want to do with tile because it makes a heck of a lot of dust. So as a matter of fact, I'm going to cut off for a minute and put my dust mask and my goggles on, and we'll be right back. One other thing I might add, when you're cutting, water comes over this blade and shoots right out this way. That's why you have this little cover, so when you're cutting, it keeps the water down. You're still going to get wet, but sometimes I'll use it up a little bit. And since I have a mask on and I don't mind getting wet, and what I do is I use a little piece of plastic and I use it as a bib, because most of the water comes right here. So if you've got a little piece of plastic like this, and when you're making cuts, you just put it up here and it'll keep you from getting wet. So that's a fact I thought I'd show you. Okay, we're going to go ahead and lift this up enough so I can see it, where it is. Okay, here we go. Okay, now I'm going to show you how to get these out. That's the easiest part. You just get yourself a pair of pliers and you just break them off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is mainly used, when you're going into where there's a light switch and you need to make that cut. Or if you need to make a quarter cut, you could do it too. It's just a really handy way to do it. But if you're making just a regular cut, you just make it like an L, you can always cut it right this way or that way or whatever. But at any rate, that's what you end up with. And it's nice to know how to do that. It saves you a lot of cut in other ways that take a lot longer to do. So. This is an example of how you can use the saw to make cuts freehand without using a fence. It's very easy to do, and just hold tightly to your work and be very careful, and always wear a mask and face protection at all times. Take your time, don't push real fast, and let the tool have time to cut. Since I have a lot of leftover tile, I'm going to show you how to use the fence. Let's say we want to cut a 1 inch, well, let's say we want to cut this in half, okay? So what I do, get this lined up. Let's say we want to go, let's see what this is. We want to go 1.5 inches, okay? You want to go 1.5 inches. So you measure 1.5 inches, you tape measure. The trick is to get both sides even, and you'll know when they're even because they line up just right. Okay, let's see. Okay, we got. Okay, there we are, 1.5 inches. Okay, let's check that out. That's nice and straight. All right, so we'll lock it down. Got that locked down. Okay, now, little block to save your fingers. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and turn it on. There we have it, a nice 1.5 inch strip. When you're pushing it through, you want to push it through nice and easy. You don't have to rush it, just take your time pushing it through, especially at the end, go real slow, and you'll get a really nice cut, especially at the end, you won't have any chipping. Also, use a push block like this, and as you push it through, make sure you get past the blade, beyond the blade, and take it out with your hand like that. Always giving this, slightly pushing this with the block, and that's how that's done, okay? This saw is very easy to maintain. I'm going to show you how to, once you're done, this cover comes off. This is your reservoir for the water, and that picks up the that picks up all the dust, goes in here mixed with the water. And when you're done, you can just take it outside and you can rinse it out with a hose. There's a little drain plug here that you can pull out also. And if you put too much water in it, it has a little overflow section here where it will drain out. So you can never overfill the reservoir with water. And it's a very good unit. This is the blade. You can buy these. You can buy a new blade if you have to at Lowe's or online. And it lasts me did my whole kitchen backsplash, and this blade is still good. So they last a long time. At any rate, that's what I can tell you about the saw. It's a little messy, but it does a great job. Especially if you're just doing something for yourself. You don't want to spend like $700 on a saw. So there we go. Hope you enjoyed. Please like and share and subscribe if you want. Thanks.